Virginia, and they said they stopped. It's not, it's not reliable.
Well, I noticed on most fertilizer bags that phosphorus, or lawn phosphorus is low. It's always a real low ratio.
Outside of 10, 10, 10, 20, 20, all of those, phosphorus usually going to be low because it's one that's readily available in the soil. When we start talking about cool season, we're just talking about fescue. So usually, it's just an example, we're talking about 10 to 15 pounds of a 16-4-8. If we go with a 12-4-8, then we might go up to 15 to 20 pounds, just depending per 1,000 square feet. You would do this in September at that beginning stage. Then you can also do it in November, which is just required. But when you do one in November, you don't have to have the phosphorus and the potassium. You can go strictly nitrogen because that's what that one is supposed to serve anyway. We're just trying to keep it green and healthy and growing. Phosphorus and things like that is there, but your last fertilization, your first fertilization for the new year is in April for fescue. All right, and usually I tell people you can go a little bit before April in March and use if you're using that pre-emergence, get the pre-emergence that have the fertilizer with it. That way you can knock two stones with one application. And this is just the same thing. You'll see turf builder, and this is a starter fertilizer. They say that's just for cool seasons, but you can use it if you're using warm season seeds as well. It's real high in nitrogen. It's really going to do good. When you start seeing numbers like this, 18, 24, 12, that's alarming to me, especially when I see 24. That's making sure when you purchasing this, that's what's needed. 18, 24, that's a little crazy for me. So you have to be careful with that. All right, some key things in terms of fertilizer. Make sure you do not apply on wet grass. We know it's a solid, will burn. Use the mechanical spreader, the broadcaster, as I mentioned before. If you don't know how to calibrate it, whatever product you're using, you might want to go with that with the same spreaders as well. When you fertilize, make sure you water it in. Make sure you water it in, and especially if you're using a pre-emergence. Understand the pre-emergence are activated when you water. So that's another way you can knock it out. Why grasses fail? Well, they're not adapted to you got areas that's not adapted to for your turf grass. You got too much shade. You might not have enough water. Just different things. Improper fertilization, improper watering, mowing procedures. Oh man, I didn't get into that, but now I will. If it says 2 to 3 inches, more 2 to 3 inches. It's amazing how with Bermuda people constantly allow this grass to get 3 inches tall. Oh, I like the way it cascaded. What? I like when I step in and it just, you're killing the grass. Cut the grass, But people love high grass, and I don't know why. They love it to be high. You see it almost 3 inches. Bermuda hates that. And when you look at that, you will see at the bottom of it is brown. Only at the tips, it's green. It's almost like that meatball pruning. When you cut it in there, everything is brown, only the tips. That's just the same concept. You can't do that with Bermuda. You're actually shading the grass out. So whenever you need to, if your landscaper make a mistake, he just left for one neighbor at 2 inches and yours is at 3, and cut yours at 2, it's going to be brown. It'll flush back out, but you're really hurting the grass when you do that. Make sure you check for insects and disease. People tend not to care about things like that. But if disease and insects are constantly feeding on the grass, sooner or later you won't have grass. All right? Excessive amount of fat. I think this is an important thing for warm season grasses, but the two that come to mind are Bermuda and zoysia. You constantly need to leave that, maybe every 3 to 4 years. Bermuda is very prone to thatching. You got to get that dead debris out of there. If you're cutting grass, that 1/3 method, make sure if you're cutting over a third, catch those clippings. If not, let the chip fall where it may, but understand over a period of time, that's a buildup. And whatever else is born into your yard. Then, not even talking about last year's growth. Remember you scalped to an inch. So that inch of growth is all being pushed down, down, down. At some point, you got to get that out of there. Because that's where your disease and insects harbor and overwinter. So if you never correct those things, you can always find yourself having these problems. Yes, sir.
If you back, do you still need to dethatch?
I would still dethatch every 3 to 4 years. Now, understand this, when talking to a homeowner about dethatching, make sure you go with one time, one direction. Don't turn back around. If you turn back around, you're gonna cry. You will cry. My first time doing my own yard, I made a mistake listening to my wife, and I wasn't paying attention. And I turned back around, she was calling me, like, what do you need? And I looked back, all you see is dirt. It cuts up pretty well, but if you come back over an area you just went over, it's like, I'm like, it rips it up real good. It rips it up real good. Remember, the sharp blades pulling out all that debris, one direction, and you keep it moving. I usually tell people if it's in the front of the house, start from the house and work your way out that way. Work your way to the sidewalk, on the street. Whichever way. I never go towards the neighbors. I don't want to cut the neighbors. Don't get into that. But yeah. All right. You already have these calendars, as I mentioned. These are your guides. Hey, this is the Bible. This is the Bible in terms of recommendations. Irrigation. Simple thing about irrigation for grass, it needs an inch of water. It needs an inch of water per week. That's what it needs, an inch of water per week. Can I afford to get an inch of water? Yes, ma'am.
How the heck do you determine the inch of water?
Easy. Oh, it's easy. It's easy. But before I go there, when understanding water, when you start getting into drought conditions with grasses, there are signs. You'll see sometimes Bermuda is real great to get that dullest color. But I love the blades actually folding, or you can actually step on the grass if it does not recover within, I'm gonna say, a good 15, 20 minutes. That lets you know that grass is a little dehydrated and it needs some water. Best time to water, I'm gonna say, is after 9 p.m. all the way until 9, 8. That's gonna be the best time to water. 9 p.m., I really say 10, but 9 p.m. on to 9, 8. Those are your best times to water. When you start talking about that inch of water, when you don't give it, your roots will rise into the soil surface, so you'll never train the roots to go deep. Now, one way you can start it off for you, Rebecca, when you start planting, or anyone else who's looking to plant, you make it go into a wilting state first. First time you do it, make it go into a wilting state to where the roots begin to search. From that point on, you try to keep that rotation where you never put into the state of where, if you're doing that frequent watering and you get this old pancake effect, where the roots begin to surface. We still want to give it an inch of water. An inch of water is a lot of water. So when we start talking about an inch of water, for me, I have a system, and you don't have to have an irrigation system. You can do it with an oscillating sprinkler. But for me, my system is simply this: because I inherited garbage, I have to deal with it. And I'm talking about soil. I wasn't able to amend the soil and things like that. So for me, my system is set up like this: it comes on, it runs for 30 minutes. I shut it down for 20 for absorption. 30, 20, 30, 20, 30, 20, 30, 20. I have to do 36 times. No, 7 times to ensure an inch. And how I found out about that inch, what you do is you get tuna cans. You get the 1-inch tuna cans and you place them all over the yard. You turn on your system, it's going to start filling up your tuna can, but just as soon as you see surface runoff, you have to shut it down. You have to allow absorption. A lot of times people water and you see the water going down the road. There's no absorption rate there. So you have to incorporate an absorption rate. So from there, that takes me 20 minutes. I have to let it sit for 20 minutes to allow that process to take place. Some people will be short, depending on amended soils. Some people will be even longer. So from there, I turned it back on until I filled that can up. That can is an inch. That's what gave me my system. Yes, ma'am.
So are you suggesting you water 1 day a week for those intervals rather than say Monday, Wednesday, Friday for 30 minutes?
I'm not into that. I'm not into that. You know, yeah, it really depends. If I can break that, if I can give it a half an inch on Monday and then a half an inch on Friday, I'm good. On Thursday, I'm good. But I'm gonna be honest with you. Sometimes I don't give it. I'll give it an inch of water every other week or every third week. It just depends. Bermuda bounces back for me whenever I need it to. But if I go 3 weeks without water and we're in a drought situation, because remember, we still are taking into account of what Mother Nature gives us. Every time I'm checking my weather to see what, when I have to put my tuna cans out, I have a garage of tuna cans in a box. And just as soon as I'm not, I tell my wife, put the cans out. I need to know how much more water I need to spend. One time when I was first going to, my water bill was almost $500, almost crushed. But I'm a grass person. Y'all can have your tree. Well, I'm a tree person too. You can have your shrub. I'm shrub too. Your flowers. You can have all that. That's my wife thing. You can have them flowers. I love the color, but trees and turf. That's what I went to school for. So yeah, I don't care anything about. Put my tuna cans out.
I guess after that $500 water bill, she didn't mind putting access to
Tuna cans. I mean, $500. And we're just talking about in 1 month.
Yeah.
You know, it was a year. It was like a couple of years ago. We had a major drought. I want to say about 4 or 5 years ago, and it was just bad. It was bad. We was on that odd versus even and all of that stuff. I'm like, look, I ensured that I got an inch, and I waited another 3 weeks before I gave it another. But the ideal rule of thumb is for any plant material is 1 inch of water per week. 1 inch per week. And the tuna cans is just one way, or you can use rain gauges to determine that inch of water, how long it'll take. That's usually how it goes. Okay? All right, mowing. We talked about this earlier, just mowing is important. People don't realize when you mow incorrectly, you stretch the grass out. Because if you constantly stress it, especially centipede, it will thin out and never come back. That centipede decline. So make sure they mow it at the right height. Let's say we let the Bermuda get 3 inches high. And it started out like that in May, June, July. And here we come in August. I want to cut it down to 1.5 inches. Finally, I want to do something right. When you cut that grass down to 1.5 inches, you have shot that grass. Because what has happened, for those 3 months, I have been acclimated to a higher photosynthetic rate. Now you cut me down, I have roots, you just knock everything out of whack. And it is very, you have to put it into shot. It has to adjust now. It will not perform. Mowing is critical. Most people don't think that it is. Mowing it at the right height, collecting those clippings when you're over 30 inches, all of that is important. Because anything over a third can accumulate into thatch. So if you missed a couple of mowing cycles, make sure you're going to catch it. So some people say, so when should I do I like to call it rejuvenation program? We have a rejuvenation cutting. And it's when you scalp your grass. That's when you should correct the height. Don't correct it during the growing season. You can take a 1/2 inch off, and a lot of people don't have that to work with, depending on your mower. Some mowers are just set up by 1 inch. I have a Honda, it's set up by a 1/2 inch to 1 inch. It's set up in that manner. Everyone does not have that option. So just make sure if you have to correct it, you can wait. But you correct it in March when it's time to scalp it. That's that rejuvenation cut, just like a rejuvenation prune. Then you keep it at the required height that is needed. That's how you should do that. Do not come and just cut that grass off like that, or you're gonna send it to shop. Mowing is very important. Yes, ma'am.
Question, so you scalp,
You scalp your warm season grasses in March. Warm season. You don't scalp. You never scalp fescue. You can scalp it. Just know what, you better give it some water when you scalp it. Usually people will scalp fescue to interseed with, overseed with more fescue seeds. Because it's a little higher, so they want things to fall, the seeds to fall down to the soil surface. That's why I'm not into really cutting that low. I wouldn't go beyond that 2 inches. I just not fescue.
What's the purpose of scalping?
Scalping is taking off last year's growth. And you never take all of it off. Most rotary mowers will get to 1 inch. Some people will use a real mower and take it down to a 1/2 inch to allow the new green to flush out without worrying about anything. The idea is getting a lot of that dead growth off from the previous year. That's scalping. In the farmer setting, they'll burn it off. So you can actually take it all the way to the ground without damaging the crown and the grass. Rotary versus real, very simple. Most people don't have a rotary mower, so who cares? If you want a nice cut, the real mower is nice. This little machinery here, that's about $9,000.
I don't have one of those.
Yeah. Now, I will tell you this. If people say, well, is it even possible to cut with a real mower? There are real mowers that you just push. You better have a small yard, or you're going to be a pushing soul. But it's up for the individual. That's up to the individual. And it's not motory, but when you get into the motory real mowers, I think the cheapest one I've seen is like $1,900. Yeah, that's the cheapest one I've probably seen.
Can you rotate using a real mower?
I would. No, that's crazy. How you gonna cut me nice and then come back jagged cut, then cut? No. No. I'm gonna tell you, and the reason why you
Real
wouldn't.
mowers don't pick up, don't
No, that's not true. Some of them got catch
The one I saw didn't.
Yeah, I know Superstar sells one. It has a little catch thing. Even though not Superstar, Home Depot. Yeah, the one you just push, it has a little catch bucket up on there. Yeah.
Power. It's a power.
It's a power one.
Yes,
Real.
yeah.
Not a push.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think if you were to try to, switch it up, you will see the difference in how the grass is. And you're like, no, I can't go back to this. It just looks better. I don't care which grass you cut, which grass you cut with a real mower. It just looks better. It looks better.
Maintenance is hard.
Maintenance is hard. I mean, sharpening those blades, keeping those blades sharp, understanding the topography, adjusting to that topography. If you don't, you can cut the grass right into the dirt, it's gone. So it's just a lot of things that take into consideration.
You gotta keep the ground really level.
It has to be level, or you have to know
There's no holes.
yeah, like if you have a little slant, you better come on the side. So if you try to come up, you do some damage. You're scalping. All right, so here's the mowing heights for fescue 2 to 4. 4 is usually in the summertime. Common Bermuda 1 to 2. Hybrids is a 1/2 inch. You can even go to a 1/4 inch, but a 1/2 inch to an 1.5 inches. Same thing for zoysia. Centipede is 1 inch to a 1/2 inch, and St. Augustine is 2 to 3. Usually I tell people the higher number is during the summertime. The higher number is usually kept during the summertime to help keep the grass cool. But just understand this, the more grass you have, the more water potential is lost through transpiration. So you have to, that's what I said, catch-22, especially with fescue. You're still losing moisture, but it's actually keeping the crown of those grasses cool. That's the idea of the fluctuation in height. It's keeping the crown of that grass cool. All right? And we just talked about this already. Facts, we talked about making sure you get it out of there. And as I already said, you can see Bermuda and zoysia are more inclined to have those problems. But if you never remove that, what that will do is push your roots up into that zone. It's not letting it push, but what's happening as it constantly accumulates, you'll see more of your roots coming from here to there. This will cook in the summertime. It's not soil. That will definitely cook in the summertime. So when we start talking about cultivation for that, we talk about Blackmon. You can rent these at Home Depot, Lowe's. Like I said, I don't know if it's a reason to buy because it's something you do every 3 to 4 years if need be, but you definitely can make homes from it. You can rent and go from there. When we start talking about core aerating, that compaction, you have to relieve that compaction. That's something you should do every year. Every year, because of the clay soils. Clay soils, yeah, smallest particle, easy to bind, whether you're walking on it or absorption. Water is one of the biggest reasons why it compacts, whether you walk on it or not. Gravity itself.
I see you have on there should be done during periods of active growth, where most lawn companies are trying to get you to do it before the growth season. Seems like.
Say that again, though?
Seems like the,
When useless to some. I've never seen anyone try to aerate anything beyond.
They need to work. They need to.
yeah, it seems like they start earlier.
Well, see,
earlier every year.
here's why you don't want to do anything from green up until May. Understand what's taking place with this grass. All of the stored carbohydrates from last year are being used for greening. If you come in and aerate that, you would disturb that process. It's pruning. You're going to delay that green up if you come and do that during that time. So you wait till the latter part of May and start your aeration. Most people will start in June, July. Some people wait till July. It's on there, I think, what's the best month they say?
For the new guy.
Yours is May through August.
May through August, yeah.
Same for.
Yes, most warm seasons are the same. So that's why you don't want to do this too early, and you definitely don't want to do this too late, because once it starts storing nutrients for next year and you disturb that, you're gonna have a problem. You're gonna have a problem, yes ma'am.
So is it conceivable that during the single years you would aerate and thatch and scalp?
You're gonna scalp every year. You're gonna scalp, that's just cutting off last year's growth. You're gonna take your mower as low as it can go. Usually with the rotary mower, that's gonna be at 1 inch high. You're gonna always wanna take that dead growth and catch it. You wanna catch it. In terms of aerating, you should always aerate every year during the summer months. Scalping is in March, but aerating is gonna be during the summer months. Dethatching is gonna be every 3rd to 4th, 5th year. It really depends on what people have been doing within your landscape in terms of accumulation of that. That's what it's going to depend on with that. But usually, it should not be done every year. It shouldn't be done every 2nd, 3rd, 4th, or 5th year. It really depends on you as a home. Yes, ma'am.
When you were saying the height, can you just repeat what you said about, let's say, the common Bermuda, 1 to 2 inches, you should lean towards 1 or 2?
Okay. In the summer months, you lean towards a larger number. Yeah. So that's going to be 2 inches. I have common Bermuda. I keep it cut at 1 inch. My wife hates it. I don't care. It's my yard. Your flower bed is my yard. I mean, she loves high grass, but she don't understand. You know, she see what my neighbor Clarence and Mike, their grass sitting up there high, I don't know what, but then their stuff is down. They have the issue. So now she's coming to realization, like, okay, got the reason here. I know what I'm doing. You know, but then I have to do the same thing. Hey, see, Greg, look at what it says. I'm not the only one, you know, that says the same thing, but it's just coming to the point of understanding you must cut it at the recommended height. I wouldn't take common down below 1 inch because it does not look right. It does not have that tight canopy. So it won't look as tight. It won't have that carpet look. That's the only problem. That's why you keep it between 1 and 2. And I make sure when I don't feel like cutting the grass and the guy coming cutting the grass, I'm out there with him. He's like, well, you could, hey, I'm paying you cut my grass, but let me check your mower. And I make sure he put it at an inch because landscapers are not accustomed to cutting Bermuda that low. They're not accustomed to doing that. No, it's easier to keep it high. Come and just do it. It's money. It is money, people. Think about it. If you have a grass that's 2 or 3 inches high, come in, I'm just coming knocking off the tips. I come back, how many times people come up, get to y'all? I'm coming back again and knock off tips. It's money. I'm just saying. If y'all wouldn't spend your money, something. Oh, there we go. So that's what we're talking about. Aerating, this should be done every year, just because clay soils. For those individuals that have the opportunity to truly amend their soils, then that changes. You can stretch that out even further to maybe every other year to every 3 years. If you truly have the particle sizes so that created those pore spaces for drainage and oxygen flowing throughout that soil. But if not, like I said, some of us inherited some things, you need to go ahead and do that. This is what I was talking about earlier about top dressing. For those individuals who have issues, you address, if you have areas that's not amended well, doesn't drain well. One way gravity can actually pull things down into the soil profile. Certain grasses will not allow too much to go beyond the roots, so it won't go no further than an inch. But if you were to come back with a third or fourth of an inch of whether it's sand or some type of amendment and then aerate, that helps. That helps. Because the one thing, and I'm quite sure, now I'm not going to get into Gary's talk. I'm going to let Gary do his thing. Because when you start seeing tree roots, people never realize why you start seeing tree roots. There's no oxygen in the soil. So tree roots comes up. Whenever you see that, that's a problem. But the same way I'm talking about doing aerating for grass, we do the same thing for trees. We'll put a square starting 4 foot away from that tree, and we'll get a little small auger and drill holes all around. And you fill it with amendments. It's not going to really help. It helps at some point. So it's just something to think about. That's top dressing. All right. If you have any questions about turf, www.georgiaturf.com or the extension website will be able to help you. Any questions? Yes, sir.
On the green sheet under dethatching,
For which grass?
Bermuda grass or zoysia grass, it says to go both ways. So go over the lawn 2 directions. But under fescue, it says go 1 way only.
Hold on.
Why? If you look at a Bermuda grass, dethatch, go over the lawn only 2 directions.
If, you missed the first thing, if the thatch exceeds a half an inch.
Okay.
So the thicker the thatch, the more, I'm assuming the more you're gonna go. When I went over mine, it tore up. And usually we say, hey, be careful in going back over.
So just go, you would recommend just go once, at least if you're gonna.
At least once, because you're gonna get a lot of material from that.
Okay.
So, you know, I'm not gonna tell someone to go back, because then you can have applicator's error and things just really go bad.
Mm-hmm.
So we usually just say once. But this is saying if you have more than over half an inch.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I had a lawn care service and they want to use sand to top dress my Bermuda.
Sand is one you use for warm season grass to encourage the runners. It makes it easier to run across.
Or
Say that again.
Should you mix it with some
No,
soil?
no.
Plain sand.
It's no, ho. River sand.
Yeah.
Coarse river sand, not that white clay sand. No, that's real fine sand. That white clay sand is a problem for lawns. It has to be a coarse river sand, not the white clay sand. Yes, ma'am.
What do you use for fescue
In terms of,
to address it?
That's just, you can use an amendment as well. You never use sand. You use you can go with I don't want to go with the compost, so I go with something that's more humus. Mushroom compost, something that does not have big particles in it that can contribute to fat. You can actually do a manure, something like that.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
I'm confused about the feedback. You said go one direction.
Yes.
How do you get back up to the start again?
Once the blades go down, there's a device where you can just pick it back up and you turn it back around. You can do this now. You can definitely go here, go to the sidewalk, and come back up this way.
Oh, okay, when you said one direction, I thought you had to start up here.
I'm talking about over the same grass.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm sorry about. Yeah, you just don't roll back over the same part that you've already beat back. That's what I'm saying. I'm sorry if I confused that.
Only manually do that.
Huh?
They're only manually do that.
Yeah. So, any other questions? Yeah, garden rake is a good feedback.
Well, there's a tool, a special tool.
It's a lot of work. It'll definitely work your back. Trust me, I did that the first time. Last year, sometimes I get lazy, even as an extension lazy. Boy, I was scalping, and I have a bagger, but scalping, you are constantly bagging, dumping. And I said, you know what, let me just cut this grass. And it was so much, I was like, now I got to rake and really get in there with another type, for the garden rake, and really get all of that stuff up. So I was pulling up stuff, and it works, but it's a lot of work to do something. All right, you all have a great one.
Thank you.
You know what? I did not bring my cards. I don't know why. I know why, because my other folder is